Dialogue Schools Rugby League with Gold FM. Coach of St. Peter's College, Sanath Martis.
Well, on the Gold Morning Drive today, I have with me a name that is synonymous when it comes to rugby. Of course, an old Isipatanian, but he's done yeoman service as a coach, of course, not just for his alma mater as well, but also for St. Peter's back in the early part of the 2000s. And also in 2010 when he led them to an unbeaten championship, took Royal as well to a couple of league titles, of course, back in 2015 and 2016. And he's back with the Bamba Brigade. And I've got with me Coach Sanath Martis. A very good morning to you, Coach Martis.
Good morning, Nathan. Good morning to you.
And so tell us, St. Peter's, the defending champions, already bagged 2 of the 7 titles as well, and so far 3 out of 3, and looking quite dangerous. Tell us a bit about the team.
Actually, it's quite dangerous in the sense the boys were in a different mood after winning last year's double championship and this year's 7th. And because tournament is tough, and everybody has realized, my boys has to realize that it's tough tournament, because there are other, by going through the tournament, some of the teams are performing very well, and we'll have to change our mindset accordingly.
Right.
And also some of the schools like Royal and DA and of course Vidyartha performing well. It's not an easy tournament to win because boys, all the boys, the Royal boys, DS boys, Vidyartha, and of course even though St. Joseph's losing to Vidyartha, St. Joseph is not a bad team. I hope that Nilufer will tune up them in the future matches. And we are prepared anyway. We are also working on it. We are preparing our boys to match the challenges.
And you have about what blend of youth and experience, or there's quite a few colorsmen in the Peterite side, as I understand it.
Actually, I don't have quite exact number in my mind, but we have about 10 to 12 last year players.
All right.
Because last year about 2 props are remaining, and from the third row number 8 and the flank was remaining.
Right.
2 slummers were remaining, and centers, three quarters were remaining. But we have about 10 good players, but the more than that, the younger players who has the freshers who are walking into the team also performing very well.
Yes,
And,
the season results are showing that.
Yeah, they are also performing very well, and I hope that some of the players for the moment we are suffering from small injuries, and we are working on it and managing the team very well with my coaching staff.
Right, that's good to know.
And we hope that we can do a good run to the tournament.
I'm sure that the Bamba Brigade will no doubt go very far in this tournament. Also, Coach, now we've had, with modern rugby and the training methods that are used are quite different from what it was back in the day. So are there any specific training methods that you employ with these boys to get them both mentally and physically fit?
I don't think that there are big difference because it's early days when we were playing. It's totally comparing to today. It's totally different.
Yeah.
But for last 2 years, 3 years, matching to this year is not that different because I have noticed. From how the other schools were training, I have noticed how the overseas team was training, and there are no big difference comparing with Sri Lanka teams because basically today the game is 80% depends on fitness,
yes,
right, and gym training. But most of the coaches or most of the people were thinking that it's a gym training. Within the gym, you can only improve power and strength. Then, of course, more than power and strength, right? Even you have the power and strength, you need to have a speed to develop that power and strength.
And skill as well.
Because most of the trainers were not good in speed training. They were only good in gym training.
Right.
And I believe that each trainers also must include worked into the team, right?
Absolutely.
Then only because when you develop the velocity of the boys, you can reduce the injury level.
Right.
The amount of injured that boys are getting, and also the flexibility and things like that. When you include those things into the training,
Right.
you can reduce your injuries. Other than that, I don't see any big difference in training.
Right, lovely. Also, finally, Coach, now we saw that game against Wesley, probably the first real test that St. Peter's have faced this season. And they seem to be just a fraction suspect against that rolling maul. Obviously, fine-tuning required there. But also, then St. Peter's went back to their strengths, which is their backs. Even the penalties were taken very craftily, very quickly, and then sent out to the back. So a bit of work to be done with the forwards before your next game?
Definitely I'm working on it, because Wesley, of course, came with a good plan, playing with their forwards. Right?
That's right.
We have our plans, playing with our strength, playing with backs, right?
Yeah.
That is the method that any coach will use.
Of course,
So
you play to your strengths.
You'll have to play with your strengths.
Exactly.
Right? And also, at the same time, all the coaches will work on your weaknesses.
Of course.
Right? That is coaching.
Yeah, of course.
Therefore, we are working on it next few weeks, because we know that when you're playing against Royal, it's a rolling maul, right? And it's a forward game. But when you go through the Vidyartha against Royal, it's a forward game.
That's right.
Right?
In muddy conditions.
And likewise, like me analysis, the other coaches were also analysts of how the St. Peter's are playing.
Of course.
Right? That is the end of the day. That is how they are making their strategies.
Of course. Different strategies for different teams.
Different teams, yeah. Therefore, all the coaches has to work on it and work accordingly and win matches. And
Of
you
course.
need to develop your players accordingly.
Super. Thank you so much for talking to us, Coach Martis. And here's wishing you and the Bamba Brigade all the very, very best for the season.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.